Howdy folks, welcome to another beautiful afternoon out here in West Van. Today we talk about police clearance certificates for your permanent residency application. Now, funny thing, so let me take a step back. Firstly, when you apply for your permanent residency, you need a police clearance certificate from every country that you spent more than 6 months in. So for us, because we are from South Africa, we obviously spent more than 6 months in South Africa at one time. And then we were also in the US for longer than 6 months at one time when we got stuck there during COVID. So that meant we needed to get police clearance certificates for both. And we did. We organized police clearance certificates when we were in South Africa, and we organized the police clearance certificates in the US before we left the US, because my wife is very on the ball when it comes to admin, and she knew that we needed this for PR, and our idea has always been to apply for PR in Canada. So we got these clearance certificates and we submitted it with our PR application, and we were like, sweet, we're all good. And then when they requested the FBI clearance certificates, I think somebody on the channel commented that it needs to be from after you left. It needs to be dated after you left that country. And then we were like, oh shit. Ours are not dated after we left the country. Ours are dated from, mine was a month before we left the US. South Africa, luckily, our police clearance certificates were dated after the date that we left, because what happened was obviously, in South Africa, while we were there, we submitted and everything was slow, and we were actually a little bit irritated still that we didn't get it before we left, but which was a good thing, because they issued it only after we left South Africa. Belinda's brother picked it up and sent it to us. So that was great. Murphy's Law, it worked out. But in the US, we didn't have it. We have it different. So after a weekend of frantically Googling and trying to figure out what's going on and not finding information, we, I don't know, the IRCC Canada site sometimes. So it says there that it needs to be dated after you left that country. And we were like, but there's no more information. I mean, sometimes it doesn't make sense. Anyway, long story short, after the weekend, we decided, crap, I think we should rather just get these new ones dated from, now, the recent date, because that's the other thing. On the IRCC site, they say it must be recent. I mean, what's recent? Is it like this month, 2 months, 5 months, a year? What's recent? Anyway, so we thought, look, we are in this process. Our PR application is there. They started working on it. The last thing we want is a delay because of a stupid FBI police clearance or an FBI record check. I mean, really. So we decided we're just going to get new ones done and get it processed. But then we looked at the process, and it's like, okay, you can go online to the FBI site, submit your details, then you're going to go find somebody to take your fingerprints, print it out on the correct form, mail it to the FBI. The FBI then processes it, which they say takes about 5 days, and they mail it back to you. So we were like, oh crap, I mean, that could take anywhere 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and they are working on our application right now. But I mean, let's rather just do it. So we started doing the research. I mean, there's plenty of companies that can help you with that. Lots of people advertising in Canada, in Vancouver. But Belinda, I just grabbed the first guy. That's me. But my wife, she wants to find the best guy. So anyway, after a long story, we figured out, okay, we can go to a couple of people. They charge about $50, somebody 57, around there, to take your fingerprints and do the little cards. But Belinda cannot do the ink fingerprints because her ridges are too low. When we were in the US even, she had to go and do, I think, her fingerprints 3 times, because she would go to the police station, they would do the fingerprints, mail it off to the FBI, and the FBI would come back and say, inconclusive because the prints are not clear enough. So the only way Belinda can do proper prints is when she goes with one of those little scanners, those little digital fingerprint things. Those take her fingerprints well. So we needed to find one of those. So we actually booked a place, and then they were like, no, they don't do the digital, it's only ink for the FBI, and long story. So eventually we came across Global Fingerprinting Services from just out here in the city in Vancouver. Guy there, his name is Mar, and I mean, wow, what an amazing service. So we found him, and he's got the live scan machine. He also said that he is the only person in Vancouver that's got a direct link to an FBI channeler or something. So you don't have to mail your stuff in. They submit it digitally online to the FBI, and that obviously makes the period a lot shorter. So much shorter that we actually went there this morning at 10:30. We processed our fingerprints, and at about 3 o'clock we got our clearance certificates from the FBI. I mean, it literally took about 5 hours. How crazy is that? That's awesome. Look, it's a little bit more expensive. The other guys charge $57, and they charge $175, but obviously they do the whole process. You know, with the other guy it's $57, and then you still got to mail it and hope that it gets there and wait for the mail back and everything. So you got the courier fees and everything, obviously cheaper, but I mean, I would gladly pay $175 and get it within the same day. And he reckons they do it same day or at the latest the next day. That's how they do the FBI fingerprinting or clearance certificates. So if you are ever in Vancouver and you ever need to do an FBI fingerprinting clearance, and I'm pretty sure they've got a whole bunch of other fingerprinting services as well, go to Global Fingerprinting. Mar, I mean, the guys are awesome. I actually took a little clip at the office, so let me show you what it looks like. Okay, so we're at Global Fingerprinting Services Canada, where we're doing our FBI fingerprint scanning system. Yeah. And this is Mar, he's the owner, he runs the place.
It's me.
Very, very good service. They do the electronic scanning of fingerprints, which is really, really cool. And they submit it directly to the FBI, so you get your results very, very quickly.
Thank you. Yes. It's like magic too.
Like magic.
Exactly.
And he gives you good advice on how to do it and get it done right. All right, folks. Cheers. As you can see, Mar is quite a cheery and friendly person. It was just altogether a great experience, I gotta be honest. It was really awesome. So I'm gonna put their details below this video. Go support this gentleman. They're doing great business. Anyway, all right folks, have a good one. Cheers.